Stealing It by Rachel Robinson. I have been reviewing this whole entire series as it comes out, and every time there's a new book, I'm like, who's gonna be the new Bronze Bay Navy SEAL? Who's gonna be the new guy we dive into? And it's always exciting. So I was so pumped when I saw there was another one. And just when you think that like you're done with Bronze Bay, Rachel has this coming back and it's always a banger. So let's get into it. Magnolia got pregnant at a really young age and married her high school sweetheart right out of high school, kickstarting her life into marriage and motherhood. 15 years later, she's now divorced after her daughter Kendall walked in on her dad and another woman butt naked and compromised. Needless to say, Kendall was traumatized. So Magnolia's in a part of her life where, you know, dating's the last thing on her mind, and her best friend is encouraging her to date, but she literally doesn't even know the first thing to do. With little to no confidence, Magnolia decides to give it a shot, but just do a hookup. And that's when she meets Aiden, a tall, buff, hunky Navy SEAL who could run miles around Magnolia with his swagger. But this casual hookup actually turns into a business transaction when, one of Aiden's past hookups shows up at his door demanding why he hasn't called while Magnolia's in the back room. So Magnolia's gonna play the part of girlfriend so Aiden's car doesn't get keyed by the ladies of Bronze Bay. When is it ever a good idea to mix business with pleasure and not expect consequences or to catch feelings? The answer is never, guys. That's the answer. Will Aiden be able to keep this a business transaction, or will Magnolia's sassy behavior and independence actually turn him on, especially with a teenager who doesn't necessarily like men at all, and she hasn't learned from the best? And will Magnolia be able to trust him, especially since she's learned to not trust men, and he's a little bit younger, so is he mature enough for her? Or will Kendall decide to manipulate the situation and sabotage it all to protect her mom? You're gonna have to find out. 5-star, 10 out of 10. Loved this book. Also, Rachel, I have a bone to pick with you. Near the end, you had my heart absolutely destroyed there for a second. It was a second, but what a way to just... This series has been such a pleasure to dive into. I mean, each single book is so fun, and you're getting to learn all these Bronze Bay Navy SEALs, the women in town, and they all kind of interconnect a little bit. I think you could read them all as standalones if you wanted to, but reading them in order, I think, is more fun because you have little cameos and you have little mentions of previous characters. You have to read this series if you, number one, like a military man, number two, love Florida, and number three, every single female in every single book is a badass. Hands down. Rachel has a talent of creating badass women in her stories, and I love it. Here it is again, and thanks for watching. Bye.